So good morning, or good afternoon actually. Thank you for coming along. I've been joined by the Testing Commander and the Chief Health Officer just for an update on where the circuit breaking efforts to get ahead of this Holiday Inn cluster are at today. So currently there are 21 active cases of coronavirus in Victoria. There have been 2 new locally acquired cases notified to the Department of Health in the last 24 hours. One is a returned traveller in hotel quarantine. Yesterday there were some 21,475 tests received, bringing the total tests to 4.694 million. In regards to the Holiday Inn updates, the 2 new positive cases that we are reporting today are both linked to the Holiday Inn at Melbourne Airport, bringing the total number of linked cases in that cluster to 16. The 2 most recent cases are a child and a woman, both who attended a private dining venue in Sydney Road, Coburg, on the night of the 6th of February. They are from separate households. And both have been in isolation since the 12th of February, and both tested and returned a positive sample in isolation on the 13th of February. We've conducted tracing interviews with them, and we can advise that as a result, the following Tier 1 exposure sites have been added to the list of exposure sites. If you have been to these sites in the time specified, you must isolate, you must contact the Department of Health, get tested and stay isolated for some 14 days. The sites and the times are: on Monday the 8th of February, the Elite Swimming in Pascoe Vale from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Tuesday the 9th of February, Woolworths Broadmeadows Central from 12:15 p.m. to 12:30 p.m, closely followed by the Ferguson Plarre Bakehouses in Broadmeadows Central from 12:30 p.m. to 12:45 p.m. And finally, on Wednesday the 10th of February, at the Oak Park Sports and Aquatic Centre in Pascoe Vale from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Again, if you have been to these sites, you will need to isolate, to get tested and to stay isolated for 14 days. That goes above and beyond the general circuit breaker that we're currently in. These test sites, these sites of Tier 1 exposure require you to isolate for 14 days if you've been in them, not the 5. So isolate, stay home. Please do not leave home for shopping or for work or for study. We will support you in every way you need to get through those 14 days. There are other sites who we have previously advised, and you can see those other exposure sites at coronavirus.vic.gov.au and click through to Case Alerts public exposure sites. In regards to the Holiday Inn numbers more broadly, yesterday we had identified some 996 known primary close contacts related to the Holiday Inn Melbourne Airport. Today, that number is 940 as we work to clear out a number of exposure sites, and this number will fluctuate up and down as some sites, as we've added today, are added to the Tier 1 exposure sites, and others are cleared as a result of the work of the contact tracers. Of the 940 today, 129 are direct family, workplace and other immediate close contacts, and that's across all the different groups that we've identified through this cluster. This is the closest ring to those cluster members at the moment. Of that 129, 127 have tested negative, and 2 further test results are due shortly. In addition, we can advise that of the 1,567 contacts identified through the exposure site at Melbourne Airport Terminal 4, that we are working through and having contacted through our tracing teams, calling all of those 1,567. More broadly, our performing over the course of the past week in regards to these new primary close contacts that have come in, particularly in more recent days, has reached and exceeded all the national benchmarks for contact tracing in this space. For the 10th of February, 98.7% of new primary close contacts were contacted within the 48-hour benchmark. The day before that, the 9th, 98% were also contacted. On the 8th, 98.7%. On the 7th, 99.2%, and so on. All of these figures are tabled through the AHPPC National Cabinet reporting processes every week and are there for all of us to measure.